78, 3:15 p.m. in Hollywood, California.
I'm so Hollywood.
You are so Hollywood, Precious.
Literally.
Oh my God, we're sitting here with Precious, and she is so Hollywood. You know why? She was born in Hollywood on June 12, 1978.
At Sunset Boulevard.
Oh, Sunset. On the block?
On the block.
Oh, shit. Were you? That's a story to tell.
At a hospital.
Oh, I was about to say. Oh, man, we should have went with that. This is Precious, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
And she is a Gemini. Why are we talking to this sweet Gemini is because we are in Sag season. But if anybody has watched any of my episodes, you would know that we have an opposite, right? Because Precious studies astrology too.
Yes.
Every sign has an opposite.
Polar opposite is Sagittarius.
Absolutely. So that is the reason why we are talking to a Gemini, because her opposite is Sag. Gemini's energy lies in mental strength. Gemini is all about intellect. Air sign, just like Aquarius and Libra, right? Oh wait, hold on. What's up, Noe?
Hey.
You gotta say what's up to Noe. Girl behind the camera, love you. So Gemini's intellectual prowess works in so many different ways. Geminis are able to compartmentalize, like efficiently. Ridiculously efficiently, meaning that you can be thinking about 20 million things at one time and execute them all, and people are astounded by your abilities. And sometimes Geminis get very frustrated with people who can't do the same. You're like, catch up, didn't you just hear what I said? Know about this policy and know about that and know about that, and then oh, I'm gonna stop at the store and I'm gonna get this. Now did you get all that? Like, don't you understand my agenda for today? Your mind is just moving too fast for people, baby, and you can't keep up. We need you for that. So don't get frustrated with us, right?
Okay. I'll try not to.
Geminis are known to be two-faced, and not from the negative percent, the perception of it all. Geminis are two-faced and dual in the sense that they operate from both sides of the coin, so to speak. Meaning that they literally and legitimately see a couple of different sides of the story. And it's not like, yeah, I believe in this one over you. It has nothing to do with the loyalty. Your loyalty lies within yourself when it comes to the points of views that you have. You're like, yeah, I stand on this point of view and I also stand on this point of view. So what? Like, I can see both sides legitimately. It's right. However, when it's wrong is when you're hurting someone. When it's wrong is when you're undermining someone. When it's wrong is when you are compromising the rights of somebody who doesn't have a right to speak for themselves. That's Gemini for you. Going for the underdog. Like, listen, I'm not going to put up with that. I mean, I see your point, but you're wrong. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the two-facedness. That's the duality of it all. That's the twins. That's a blessing. Because not too many people are able to see the roundabout picture. You understand what I mean? Where Geminis are in fault is when they like to express that to a point where their words cut. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they may have an opposite view or they may see something different, and then when the person kind of bucks them, so to speak, or doesn't agree with them, your gift to gab, which is very, very, it's strong and it's necessary. Your negotiation skills can turn really sour really, really fast because you go for the gut. In your words, yes. You go for the gut. A lot like Scorpio. Scorpio does it to hurt, but Gemini pulls out this arsenal of words when you're like, what? No, I'm not like that. I don't even know what you're talking about, but I'm not like that. I don't even know what that word means. What's that word mean?
I do that on purpose.
Why? We can interact. This is
just
not
so
like
I can win. Really.
Dig it.
Just to win and prove my point, because I can prove my point better than you can prove yours.
And information is power to you.
It is.
Information, words, research is powerful to you. Not so much emotion.
Emotion it's fleeting.
Right.
It changes. It's in motion.
Right.
But knowledge it's concrete. It stays. It doesn't change.
Right. This is how Geminis deal. Geminis deal from a superficial point of view, and it's not negative. It deals with what's being seen, what you can see, what you can prove. Emotions, you can't prove emotions, like you said, because it's fleeting. It moves, it keeps going. But what you see and what's superficial and what rises to the top in your mind is what matters.
Yes.
However, the world is made up of emotional components. And yes, it's moving. And every now and again, you need to clean out with those moving waves of anger and of depression and of happiness and whatever is coming through you. And if at any time you find it hard to stop, just at the bus stop for a little while and just talk to it, that emotion, it would benefit you if you did, because it would help you to clean out. It would help you to think clearer. You dig what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because emotions are fleeting, but they're there. They're not going anywhere. Geminis are the type of people where they'd rather have social, intellectual conversations other than talking about your dead grandfather and what he did to you and what he did to the family. Like, all that stuff is cute, but I'm not really trying to go there because it's dead and it's gone. Like, what's the point? However, to drudge those emotions up at times is helpful for you to move on. The other part of Gemini, which I need to make a point of before we move on into your chart, is that they are very, very service oriented, quite like Virgos. Virgos are ruled by Mercury just like Geminis are, but Virgo is service oriented where they will execute and do for somebody, as opposed to Geminis will think of a master plan for somebody. Geminis will research. Geminis will get all the paperwork together. Geminis will call the people. You understand what I'm saying? Geminis are sweet like that. Geminis are really, really down for the cause when they need to be down for the cause. The tripped out thing is that when you don't necessarily appreciate the work that they did, they might cut you at the end of the day. There's a problem. You mean I did all of this for nothing?
Absolutely.
But the thing is that sometimes you just have to ask if you want it to be done. When you draw them in, there's a certain type, and I'm using this word very loosely, submission that has to come into place, or vulnerability that has to. Yes, ma'am. She said, "Are you talking to me? No, wait. We switched to you now."
Look, I knew she was talking about you. I read your posts.
Oh,
Her Facebook posts tell it all.
does it? Vulnerability?
I'm just saying. It's a beautiful thing.
It can be.
When we do it right.
It can also be very dangerous.
It's dangerous when we attach to what's going on around us. You understand what I'm saying? You know, I like to use the analogy of a window screen when it comes to being vulnerable. Say you were the screen, right? And love was the air. And the air just came through the screen. The screen is not saying, well, I don't want to take the dirty air. This little piece of air got too much carbon dioxide. Somebody's outside smoking. I can't take this air. Oh my God, like at every blow, there's a different type of component to the air that's coming through. If you were the screen and did that, as we do, you know what I mean? We don't get the love that we need. It just comes through, baby. None of it affects us. None of it really matters. The only thing is that you have to be aware if it double backs and try to get you in the gut. Then you put your limitations up and go, wait a minute, I'm the screen. I'm allowing you to come through, but don't destroy me. Keep it pushing. Keep moving. Does that make sense, Noe?
It does. And I'm just pushing it all out.
I'm just saying. You got plugs up.
Panels, forget a screen, it's panels.
Shut down.
What is that? No.
That's hilarious. And this is what's interesting to me, is that you have Venus in Cancer, so I think this is where the challenge of vulnerability comes in, because Cancer, I'm a Cancer, we have a hard shell. We love very easily though. But that shell is a protective shell. So here it is. Venus is how you love, it's how you want to be loved, right? And you really want to be loved vulnerably. It's like this thing inside of you, that little girl again, we was talking about off camera, who's inside of you that goes, yes, let's play. And then as soon as somebody pull out a knife, or as soon as somebody say the wrong thing, that shell comes over, it's locked down. This is the trick about being a Cancer and having that Cancer energy. And trust me, it's taken me over 40 years to understand this. Is that the only real way to love is to be open, because we get fed. We get fed as we're loving somebody else. You will literally shut down. You will go through nervous spells, anxiety. You understand what I'm saying? Your gut will start hurting. You can't eat for days. You understand what I'm saying? When you shut down your capacity to love.
Well, I love love.
I know you do. You have a Cancer. I mean, we're the nurturers. Cancer energy is the nurturers of the planet. We are the mothers of the zodiac. We take people in our bosom willingly to shut down. We don't care. We open up our homes. We cook. We do everything that we can do. We take on the tribe. You understand? We are leaders of emotions. We open up our heart and cry with you and feel all the pain with you just cause.
Yes.
And that's how you love. That's what you want. However, there's something in that where you can't, and this is hard to do because you have so many intellectual signs in your chart. You can't intellectualize love. It's oil and vinegar out this mug.
It is.
So there's parts of you that has to love freely, but watch it as it goes by. Don't attach to it. The intellectual part of you just has to observe. Just watch it as it goes by. Libra in you too says, I know so much because I put 1 and 2 together to make 3. And I know you're cheating on me. I'm just saying. Because it adds up in your brain. But your soul is going, it doesn't matter, because cheating is...
They're just having sex.
Not only that though, I mean, because that does hurt for some people, but the bottom line is this, the bottom real line is this, is that people are gonna do what they wanna do. You understand? And it's never a personal attack. When someone is not loving in the capacity in which they could love. You dig what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
That's on them. And I'm telling you, that's the hardest thing to get. And I wish I can get it as emphatically as I'm saying it, because the bottom line is that love is just lovely for the sake of loving. And anybody who is not loving for that sake is missing out.
Wow.
They're missing out. And when they see it as them conniving and jigging and, going around, they're wasting time and energy. Freaking, they're burning calories. What the hell are you doing? You look stupid. You cheating on me because of what? You look like the fool. Because in all honesty, you can have her. When it comes down to it, like, just let me know you want her. I'll cry, I'll get over it and move on. But you look stupid because you're not standing up to your own truth and the love that you possess. For me or whoever else you want to do it with. I'm saying.
You are. You're saying a lot.
We're gonna stop right here because we can go on forever and ever.
Yeah.
Trust me. But I'm glad you came through and shared this time, and I'm rooting for you because, and I'm gonna tell you really, really why. It's because we have some serious light workers that need to step up to the plate, and oftentimes we don't have courage to step up to the plate because of what it is our family history is, or what we've been raised in, or the lack of means in order to propel us into a next space. And to be quite honest with you, we don't have to worry about any of that. It's a decision to make. When you say God, Creator, Allah, Buddha, Yahweh, whoever you are, I want to do this for the good, I want to live this life for the good, and mean it, you wake up with a whole new perception on life. And you meet totally different people. And you walk into a room where you're the oddball, but you go, I belong here. You understand what I'm saying? Make the decision because our kids need you. You understand what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
It does.
Thanks for coming through.
Thank you.
Reach over. So thanks again for Precious for joining us and being here, the sweet Gemini, Precious Gemini, and now way behind that camera. What's up, girl?
Thank you for having me.
Lord have mercy, you are so well.
I appreciate it.
Listen, if you want a reading, hit me up on my website at sonjamarietheartist.com/Wordlife Astrology. I'm here. If you don't get it from me, get it from somebody else, but get it from me. Here to talk about it. See you later. Thank you. Bye.